Hello, everybody. Today I'm talking about Saturn's most difficult transit after Sade Sati. This is called Ashtama Shani. And when Saturn is transiting the eighth house from your moon or your ascendant, this can bring some unexpected challenges, surprises, and difficulties. So, what are they? Let us explore. Hello, I'm Komilla Sutton, and we are talking about Saturn's transit in the eighth house. Do remember to subscribe, press the bell notification. So, we are talking Saturn and what to expect when Saturn transits your eighth house. Eighth house is the house of transformation, change. It is one of the Dusthana houses. That means these are difficult houses in the chart. Eighth house also represents Nija dosha. That means some mistake that we have done ourselves that we need to pay for or deal with in this lifetime. So when Saturn, which is the planet of karma and making us face and deal with karma, moves into our eighth house by transit, it brings challenges for us and unexpected issues can come up. This can be related to health, it can be related to relationships, breakup of relationships, unexpected challenges that we are not expecting. That's the main thing, that it's not something that you can think, oh yeah, I'm having Ashtama Shani and what am I going to experience there? So Ashtama literally means eighth. So Ashtama Shani means Shani's transit in the eighth house. So I have been watching it for many years and experiencing it also myself. The thing with Shani transits is that all of us experience them too. So therefore, when they are happening, we have to learn to deal with it as well. So at present, at the time of recording in 2021, Saturn is in Capricorn. So if you are Gemini ascendant or Gemini moon, then you are experiencing Ashtama Shani. In 2022, 2023, when Saturn moves into Aquarius, then that will be Cancer ascendant or Cancer moon that will experience Ashtama Shani. So both things are important. Actually, any Saturn transit, eighth house transit from any point of view is complex. But, these two transits are way more complex that we have to pay attention to. So when Saturn transits from your Lagna in the eighth house, it can bring some health issues because Lagna represents overall health, but it can bring also unexpected issues regarding marriage, relationships, because eighth house is the second from the seventh house. So it is bringing some kind of breakup issues or unexpected issues that you have to deal with. Sometimes it's not breakup, it can mean that you are suddenly unsettled and you're moving away from your relationship due to work or other responsibility. But it is important to watch this transit. Now, from the moon is your mind. And in Vedic astrology, traditionally, we have always studied the transits from the moon. So therefore, our mind gets affected, the mind gets restless, it is faced with challenges, unexpected events come that we have to deal with. And so therefore, when we experience them, we should be prepared for it. So whenever Saturn is transiting your eighth house, then it is important to be prepared for it. Now, while this is a 2.5 year transit, what you have to watch out is when Saturn is transiting the exact degree of your ascendant or your moon sign. For example, if your ascendant degree is 12 degrees of Cancer, then when Saturn goes into 12 degrees of Aquarius, then it is making an exact 8th house transit. So that particular timing, will be quite complicated. Actually, that area, if we take a 3 degree 20 minutes area where exactly your 8th house falls under, that area becomes a very sensitive, vulnerable area for you, where when Saturn transits, other transits as well, but we are talking about Ashtama Shani, when Saturn transit, it becomes a problem for you. And what is interesting about this transit, or why we get caught out with this transit, is unlike Sade Sati, when Sade Sati is transiting over the moon, our mind feels very pressurized and Saturn is sitting on top of it. In this case, Saturn is far away from the ascendant or from your moon sign. So you're not anticipating that Saturn is going to create some difficulty, unless, of course, you're an astrologer. So you know that Saturn is transiting your 8th house, and this is not the easiest time for you. Usually, I suggest to my clients and students as well that during the Ashtama Shani transit, it is very important to be careful, cautious, not make decisions yourself that destabilize you. You see, Ashtama Shani is a destabilizing transit, and unexpectedly things change, life changes, and you yourself should not be making decisions or ideas where this destabilization is more strong. So you can react to situations. So you have to prepare yourself that if something unexpected happens, then I am ready to deal with it and face it. Whereas yourself, you're not being responsible for creating difficulties. And as 8th house deals with Nija dosha, Nija means my own fault or something, a situation that you created for yourself. You don't want to add to it by creating new negative situations. So something that has happened in past life or previously, we can't change that because it has already happened. But what is happening now, we can be conscious of it and be aware of it. Then, in order to see what are the balancing aspects that are taking place at this time when the transit is taking place, is important to know, what dasha you're in. What is the sub-period, antara, that you're experiencing? If your dasha antara quite good, then Ashtama Shani will bring some challenge, but not as much. Suppose you're changing your dasha, or you're in a challenging dasha, and then this is a challenging transit, then this is adding to the problems. Then you also need to watch out that what are the other transits, how is your ascendant ruler doing, how is your moon ruler doing, what are the balancing factors. And of course, the most important balancing factor is that how you are leading your life, how much balance there is in your life. Sometimes when things are unsettled and the life is unsettled, and then these tough transits come, then they can be much worse than we can plan, because once you start getting unsettled, it's difficult to say where that is going to end. So I would say that as with all the transits, when you know that there is a difficult transit or challenges coming your way, then you are being extra careful, patient, taking your time, not creating more situations for yourself. This is kind of common sense remedies that you're doing for yourself. And over the years, when you start being cautious and aware of how the planets can be disruptive, and specifically when Saturn is coming and being disruptive for you, then you have kind of created some kind of balance in your life. And therefore, even though these transits happen, you are able to cope with it. Then you can think about doing some spiritual remedies. You can do some donation towards Saturn. Saturn likes karma yoga. That is the best donation of Saturn. Selfless service, helping the poor, helping the elderly, doing some donation towards food or medicine or some kind of care. Even if you can't afford it, you make an effort. You see, it's Saturn's remedies are never about spending money. It's about caring for other people. It's almost like you're paying back old karma, which you don't know who you owe to, but by doing karma yoga, you are giving back. By doing donation, if you donate food, you don't know who's getting the end product. That means you are giving back. So I think the concept of giving back, donation, seva is also taking care. All these things are very helpful. And Paldipika says that, planets don't bother those who are leading a good dharmic life. However good a life you're leading, something that you have already done, we can change our thinking, but we have to still face some results of Saturn and karma. So we should also be prepared, and also to have less expectation during the Ashtama Shani, because Ashtama Shani can bring upheaval, and be conscious of it. And then, of course, the deities, Lord Shiva is the deity for Saturn. You can pray to Saturn as well. And I would say the main thing when you are going through a difficult transit is to see what is it that you can do, how is it that you can bring balance back to your life, and be patient about it. Sometimes it will take time, but do not be disheartened or do not feel afraid with these transits. So that is it today for Ashtama Shani. Do leave messages in the chat, and also if you want me to talk about any other aspect, whether it's of Saturn or other planets, or any technique that you want me to talk about, and I'd be happy to do that. Thank you. All the best. Do remember to subscribe.